Hi everyone. When I originally started on social media, more of the platforms were photo and textually based, so I didn't do as much video. However, a little bit of my background, for those of you that aren't aware, is that I started out as a gigging musician, opening for national bands, very well-known bands, and playing in front of thousands of people. So I got my start speaking to thousands of people in the crowd. So that helped me with my confidence. Then fast forward years later, and I started podcasting, and that led to my FM radio show, which is now syndicated, Middays with Jill Winter. So that built up my confidence as well, and I learned a lot of tips. Now, the social media aspect comes into it because a lot more platforms are video based. And even if I post something on a platform like X, I'll post photos, of course, and textually based things, but I'll still share my videos, and people are so kind because they'll comment on them and they'll say that they really enjoy listening to me and watching my content, which really makes me feel so good inside that people are enjoying it, and people ask how I'm so confident. So I wanted to come on and give people a few tips. Now, one of the tips that I have is that you can hear in the background. I'm outside and you hear all the noise. And the reason I'm doing that is so that it shows everybody, tune out everything around you. It's you and the camera. You want to look directly at the camera like you're talking to your best friend or your partner or whomever makes you comfortable. It doesn't matter what else is going on around you. Just be comfortable and know what you want to talk about. It's okay if you go over it in your head a few times. It's okay if you make notes. It's okay if you practice and record yourself 100 times and never post it. Just watch it back so that you can see what you may not want to post and what you may want to change about when you're speaking to people. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, hand gestures. Now you see I'm being slightly emphatic with my hands, but I'm not all over the place distracting people because nobody wants to watch that kind of content either. But it's also important to use inflections with your hands and with your body because you don't want to come across monotone. If I spoke like this the entire video and said, "Hi everyone, I'm Jill and I'm sitting outside in Florida. It's a gorgeous day. I hope you're having a great day too," you'd be napping by now. You wouldn't care. You'd probably be more interested in the neighbors that are mowing the lawn than what I'm talking about. So that's another tip. Tip number 3 is a big one for me. One of the first things that I ever learned going way back to doing radio interviews as a musician, because I was fortunate enough to be in bands that were interviewed on the radio as artists, was try to never say the word I know a lot of people like to think because it buys them time to come up with an answer to a question or to buy them time to think about the next thing they're going to say. So somebody could say or could ask, "Hey, what's your favorite food?" And the person would go, thinking that's buying them time. My favorite food is pizza. Doesn't come across as confident. So, of course people slip up. I'm not going to say I've never ever slipped up and said but 99.9% of the time, I do not say the word on air. Never on my radio show will I say and in videos. I really try very hard to make that a point. Another thing is something that I like to call, or my husband likes to call, the noise frying eggs. When you're speaking to someone, especially on air or on camera, you don't want to go. Now it may be hard to hear because of all of the outside noise, but it's that t sound. Well, that comes across really unprofessionally and really just uncomfortably for people. So that's another thing that you don't want to do. So those are some of my main tips. But really, to get comfortable, you just have to keep practicing. Nobody right out of the gate is a professional. Just practice, practice, practice. Practice in the mirror, practice with your spouse, your partner, your friends. Practice to the camera. Just keep talking, record it, watch it back, see what you want to change. Keep looking directly into the lens. If I'm talking to you but looking over here and over here, you think that I'm disinterested in you, so you don't want to watch my video anymore. So it's really important to maintain that contact. And again, stay on topic, unless it's a very long video where you tell people up front that you're going to be discussing various topics. So those are my main tips on how to get comfortable in front of a camera. And I'm always happy to help. If people have questions, please feel free to comment. And if I didn't cover anything specific that you're wondering about when it comes to this specific discussion and this topic, please let me know in the comments. And if I can help you with it, I'm more than happy to answer the question. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this helped.